because so beautiful, so highly frequented by the rich and famous. So I've come here to tell you guys what the hype really is all about. Is it worth coming here? What can you do here? What can you see? Is it all worth it? And the reason I'm out at sea, the reason I'm on a boat, is because I thought that the first appropriate thing to do would be to take a boat tour around the island, seeing all the caves, all the grottos, seeing the island from a completely different perspective. So here I am on this Italian traditional boat, which is called a Grotto, and we're about to enter some beautiful caves. Let's go! Going into our first grotto, and this one is called Sail Grotto because of the shape of the entrance. One of the things that I like looking at when going inside these caves is the way that the rocks have eroded over time. So the way that the inside of the cave has naturally been shaped. It's really, really astounding to think that each and every single one of these is shaped completely differently, has a different layout to it, and it's all nature's work. On this side of the island, the water is really rough, and it looks like we even have a casualty. Pretty amazing to me that this Grotto can even keep up with all these waves. I was expected to be in the water, thrown overboard with every single wave that we hit, but it's been okay for now. And watch, as I say this, I'll probably get thrown overboard. We turn the corner, and just like that, the sea is still and calm again. Incredible. I can confirm that Capri is indeed a very stylish place. Our tiny little Italian Grotto even came with a bottle of prosecco, and that isn't all, because we also got taralli semplice all the way from Napoli. Napoli, guys! And some crisps. So I think I will outstay my welcome here, for sure. This one is called the Grotto of the Saints, because if you look over here, it sort of looks like all these people are praying. I couldn't see it at first. I really had to use my imagination, but to be honest, I'm just happy to be going inside another cave. Is it weird that I get this excited about caves? Is it weird? Yeah, the answer is yes. I'm a weirdo. Famous Faraglioni Rocks, probably one of the most photographed areas in all of Capri. That thing up there is called the Elephant Arch because apparently it's shaped like an elephant. I personally don't see it. I think they still have extreme creativity when it comes to the names they give to these places. But do you know what? Maybe after a few more glasses of prosecco, I'll see exactly what they mean. The streets are so small here, they're really narrow, so only pretty much wide enough for one person to go through. So all the cars have been adapted. Let me show you what I mean. I've also noticed a lot of designer shops here, which was quite unexpected. Whenever I come to these small Italian towns, normally I expect to see, you know, like these handmade independent stores that have been going for many, many years, which also exists here, but at the same time, right next to it, you have big brands like Gucci, Moncler, Dior, Prada. So it's quite strange to see the two, and had it not been for the rich and famous that have villas here that came here for holiday, I don't think that would have been the case. I don't know if you've noticed, but they're quite obsessed with lemons here. Wherever you look, there are lemon trees. There are shops filled with lemon designs, like, I don't know, lemon platters, lemon dishes, as well as limoncello. Limoncello is one of the main exports here, so they're really proud of that, and they really do want to show tourists that they're good at making limoncello. I have now come to a place called Giardini di Augusto, which is an amazing, beautiful botanical garden. And the cool thing about this spot is that you get a 360 panoramic view on pretty much all of Capri from the side of the island. This area used to belong to an industrialist called Krupp about 100 years ago, and he was the one who built the famous Via Krupp, which is the road that I'm about to show you. It's the one that sort of winds in on itself, and he built it to connect the marina to his house, which was here. And these botanical gardens used to be his. He was a very big nature lover. He even built a bird sanctuary here. So I think this place has a very special vibe to it, and I highly recommend it. Do you remember that elephant-shaped structure that I saw from my boat tour? Well, I was so fascinated by it that I came here from the other side of the island to see it from this vantage point. Look at that! And as it turns out, the history of it is pretty interesting too. So this used to be a grotto that caved in, and everything that was in the middle got destroyed. And the rock samples that were taken from this turned out to be from the Old Stone Age, which potentially could be millions of years old. I have to say, this place feels incredibly surreal. Everything about it, like the noises that you hear, the smells that you smell, it almost feels like, since there's such a big lack of tourism now, nature has returned to the way it was supposed to be around here, to the way it was quite a few years ago before Capri became such a popular destination. I found this place online and I really liked it because the design was cute and quirky, totally my style. The menu looked good too. And the best part I find is that you can be looking at Mount Vesuvius while you're having dinner. How many times do you get to say that? Last day in Capri, boo! But I have come to a very special location to spend my last morning here, and that location is Villa San Michele, which is located on the other side of Capri, known as Anna Capri, which was built by doctor, author, and physician Axel Munthe at the beginning of the 20th century. Axel Munthe was a pretty fascinating character, so not only was he an author, a doctor, and a physician, but he was also an animal lover, so bonus points for him. And he always had a dream to have a villa on the island of Capri. He found it to be the most magical island in the world. So that's exactly what he did. And when he moved here at the beginning of the 20th century, Queen Victoria of Sweden followed him because she was a patient of his. His way of thinking about medicine and about how he treated his patients was very progressive, so I highly admire that. But also, just walking around these gardens and walking around his villa makes me inspired to read the book that he wrote about how he built it. The gardens that surround his villa are so big and so beautiful and so diverse that they even won an award for being the most beautiful private gardens in Italy. He was so inspired by the magical and the mythological that he even put a 3,200-year-old Sphinx right over here. And what the Sphinx does is he watches over the entire island of Capri. Wow, that villa was absolutely divine, and the fact that the energy was so calm and peaceful just made me feel as though the presence of Axel Munthe was still there in a way. I love places like that. Now I have come to Da Gemma for lunch, which is a restaurant on the port. Very empty still, as you can see, but it's right by the water, so that's nice. The atmosphere here is really calm and beautiful. The weather is gorgeous here. It's about 21 degrees. And what can I say? This will be my last lunch here in Capri, so I'm quite sad. I wish I'd stayed longer, but then at the same time I feel that I got a taste of the place and now I can come back and I know where I want to stay, where I want to eat, what I want to do. Is it worth the hype? Yes. I would say that it is a beautiful island with a lot of particularities that you wouldn't expect to find here. Now, when it comes to the caves and the sea, it's amazing if it's your first time doing it. If you've already done it before, I would much rather recommend Marettimo, which is still more untouched and sort of more raw in a way. But definitely come to Capri for at least a weekend. I would say May or September is probably the best time. I would love to come back. Can't wait to explore more of it. And look at that, they just brought my food. So it's time to eat, and this is where I say bye to you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this vlog. I hope that you loved going on this journey with me, and I'll see you next time.